Have you ever worked towards something for months, only to finally achieve it and feel a little bit lost afterwards? There are hundreds of videos about how to train for a marathon swim, but almost nobody talks about what happens after you finish. And a few weeks ago, I finished UltraEbre, a 31-kilometre downriver swim in Spain. And if you'd have asked me a few years ago how I recovered from a swim like that, I'd have talked about sore shoulders, sleeping a bit more every day for a couple of days, and eating absolutely everything in sight. Now, since I've done swims like the English Channel, I'd answer it very differently, because physical recovery is only part of the story. Now, going into UltraEbre, I knew what to expect physically. I've done enough marathon swims at this point that I expect sore shoulders, I expect a lot of sleep, plenty of food, a few easier days, and then gradually get back into it as normal. The rule I usually hear is for every hour of swimming, you need 1 day of recovery. And that's pretty much what happened. My traps were sore for a couple of days. My sunburn probably hurt more than my muscles did at that point. And I had one of those glorious hot showers where you can finally feel clean again after hours in a river. You know, you eat a proper meal, you hydrate, yes, including a celebratory tipple or 4. And after one good night's sleep, I woke up feeling surprisingly okay. In fact, what surprised me most was how normal my arms felt the next day. Our bodies are actually pretty good at recovery when we give them the things they need. So the physical side is pretty straightforward, and it's the mental side that I think catches a lot of people by surprise. The first time I really experienced that was after swimming the English Channel. Now, physically, I recovered pretty well. I was sore for about a week, which I quickly realised after trying to swim, doing one length and getting out to go to the sauna straight away. And it took maybe another week before I felt like I fully had my energy back. Because for months, everything, or at least the majority of things in your life, revolve around this one goal. Your weekends are spent training. Your evenings are spent planning feeds or checking weather forecasts. Every conversation somehow comes back to the swim. And there's this constant mix of excitement and nerves because you're working towards something that really matters to you. And then suddenly it's over. The adrenaline drops away, the excitement can go too, and so your sense of structure has gone, maybe your routine, and for the first time in months, your weekends aren't already spoken for. And at first I really enjoyed it. I was catching up with friends, maybe indulging in a lie-in, spending time at the weekend doing something other than a 6 to 8 hour training swim. But eventually I started missing having that exciting thing on the horizon. I had a lot of people asking, what's next? And they're only trying to be encouraging, but sometimes, you know, you've barely had that opportunity to appreciate what you've just achieved. And each time I increased my volume and got to longer swims, my reaction could be either excitement, thinking if I could do that, what else could I do? And other times it was the complete opposite, particularly for the English Channel, where it was, that took absolutely everything out of me. I'm not sure I ever want to do that again. And both of those reactions are completely normal. And looking back, I think one of the biggest lessons I learned after the English Channel was not to rush into another enormous goal just because I felt like I needed one. Instead, in 2025, I had 3 swims booked that excited me. They were generally shorter, or maybe in places I wanted to visit, particularly looking at like Lake Annecy or the Gdynia to Hell swim I did, or the Double Coniston. And they kept me swimming because I loved it, not because I felt like I needed to prove something. Because I also realised it isn't a bad thing to miss having a big goal. Because I think it very much ties into the kind of person who signs up to marathon swims. It could just be me. But I don't think it's something to fight necessarily. So if you've recently finished a marathon swim or any challenge you've spent months, even years working towards, and you are feeling a little bit flat, please know that there is nothing wrong with you. Look after your body, eat well, eat lots, sleep, recover physically, but also give your mind a bit of grace. You have spent months building your life up to something, hopefully smashed it, sometimes not, and that goal might not exist anymore. So of course that's going to feel really strange, and UltraEbre reminded me of that a little bit, because it kind of reminded me that whilst my body usually knows exactly how to recover, my mind can take a bit longer to catch up.